Senator Rick Scott from Florida wanted to make Donald Trump feel real good about himself, even though he has proven to be a failure in multiple ways, gone bankrupt 6 times, but more importantly, lost the recent general election, and then also lost dozens of court battles claiming that he actually was the rightful winner of the general election. But it's okay, because Rick Scott's gonna come to the rescue and make Trump feel real good about himself by giving him a nice old participation trophy. And that's what you're gonna see in this next tweet with picture and all. Rick Scott tweets out, "This weekend, I was proud to recognize President Donald Trump with the inaugural NRSC Champion for Freedom Award." He just made it up. He just made it up. "President Trump fought for American workers." No, he didn't. "Secured the border." No, he didn't. "And protected our constitutional rights." No, he didn't. He actually violated the Constitution in multiple ways, which we can get to in just a second. But I'm just so amused. Like, look at his smile. Let's go back to the tweet. Let's go back to that picture. Look at that eating grin on his face. Like, he's so happy. He loves to be complimented. He's like, yeah, it's a bowl. It's just a bowl. But I feel real good because I'm being honored right now and complimented by people who actually think I'm terrible, but won't say that because they're trying to pander to my base. Like, he knows. That's why he comes across as like one of the most insecure people on the planet. But I just love that they gave him that trophy and he feels so good about it.
I love that they still feel the need to kiss the ring. The amount of bootlicking that went on within the Republican Party once Trump sort of co-opted power and established himself as easily the most popular Republican in the world, and just, somebody who has a command of the people who love and adore him as a sort of, Marilyn, I was about to say Marilyn Manson type figure, but you know what I'm saying, as a Charles Manson type of figure, right? I just think it's wild to watch all the ass kissing that's still going on, right? Like, again, we always bring up Ted Cruz, but he called your wife ugly, then said your dad did JFK, and then you phone banked on behalf of him. Like, it's just embarrassing. Chris Christie, all of them, they all just kissed so much ass after he won and took over. And to watch them, like, this guy is a failing one-term president, and you guys are still kissing the ring. Right? Like, usually when people are one term, we like to say that they're losers, they were failures, they didn't get it right. Like, they're still talking crap about Jimmy Carter, right? But Trump is the opposite. Everybody wants to still be like him. They don't see his loss as a problem. They just want to court his base and just be sycophants for, I guess, the rest of the dude's life.
Yeah. It is kind of amazing because when you really stop to think about why they do it, like, why are they debasing themselves like this? But of course, it's done for power. They want to remain relevant in politics. They do it for power. Senator Lindsey Graham admitted as much during an interview with the New York Times. He straight out said, yeah, I changed my tone on Donald Trump because I want to remain relevant. And so I'm trying to think about if there's ever a context in which I would debase myself by sucking up to someone I can't stand. And like, I wouldn't do it for power's sake, right? Like, I'm fine, my life is pretty happy. I'm not rich, but I got a good solid job. I have good friends, good family. I have a roof over my head. I'm good. Are there things that I would want? Sure, who doesn't? But at the same time, like, imagine getting to that point where you have the power, but you don't ever want to use it to actually improve people's lives. You just use it to improve your own finances, to improve your own power, your own standing in society. For what? For what? Like Rick Scott, like, one day these dudes are gonna be gone. And what's their legacy? Your legacy is gonna be pandering to Donald Trump by giving him a cheesy trophy, when in reality, you know that he's a loser. But to be fair, Rick Scott himself is a giant loser as well, as he essentially forced his own constituents to take urine tests to prove that they're not taking drugs if they're seeking any type of government assistance in the state of Florida. He then proceeded to do that through his own private company and then bill Medicare and Medicaid for it. That's who Rick Scott is. That's his legacy. That's who Rick Scott is. And it's just sad.
And Rick Scott, man, you're an older cat. Like, generally older people get to a point where it's like, I don't have to do any of this. I've basically accomplished all the things I set out to accomplish. I'm good. Why does Rick Scott feel the need to shore up his standing with Republicans or, Florida-based Republican voters by doing this? Is just the strangest thing ever. You would think that by now, he wouldn't still retain that naked ambition that most of these guys, have, and is the reason they even get into this game called politics in the first place. That he would have enough, self-respect to not be debasing himself anymore. But obviously he doesn't. But then again, who knows, right? Who knows what he's doing in private? His friends probably all think it's a great joke, because like you mentioned, Hannah, Trump did have a huge eat and grin. Trump obviously loved it. So I'm sure in private he can make jokes about that part. Like, look at this idiot. Like the simplest things, you just pat him on the ass and he just rolls over. But it's stupid. It's stupid and it's sad.
It is it's amazing how easy it is to manipulate Trump though. Because all you really need to do is be incredibly complimentary and he'll be on your side. Now, don't get me wrong, if you're in trouble and you need to see some loyalty from him, he probably won't be there for you. But if you're looking for positive comments publicly, he'll do it as long as you're complimentary and you go along with whatever lies he's putting out there in the public. Now, if you cross him though, even if you cross him once after carrying out his full agenda, as Mitch McConnell did, well, then you'll be greeted with this. Over the weekend, Trump called Mitch McConnell a son of a bitch, just like he called NFL players who kneel during the national anthem. He also called them sons of bitches as well. But he said this specifically: if that were Schumer instead of this dumb son of a bitch, Mitch McConnell, they would never allow it to happen, meaning Democrats winning the general election. They would have fought it. He thinks Mitch McConnell is responsible for the fact that he lost the general election.
And I love the idea that Chuck Schumer is some Democratic Party firebrand, like this soldier that's unflinching for the party and would do anything to ensure that they stayed in power. Chuck Schumer is the opposite of that. Totally, he is not some dude that would fight tooth and nail. And matter of fact, the last time there was an actual contested election, guys, the Dems rolled the hell over in 2000. They didn't even bother fighting. They put up zero fight. They were completely fine with handing George Bush the power, which, by the way, resulted in the worst presidency maybe ever, right? Like as horrible as Donald Trump was for 8 years. For 4 years, 8 years of George W. Bush when it comes to millions of people dead in the Middle East over 2 junk fake wars, Hurricane Katrina, the list goes on and on and on and on of the atrocities committed by these cats. And that's what happened when the Dems rolled over in 2000. Donald Trump is he clearly doesn't really know who Chuck Schumer is.
No, definitely not. I thought we were gonna pull up that B-roll of Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi doing a press conference side by side. Like, how do you look at that guy or either one of them and think like, whoa, fire breathers?
When Chuck has his glasses on his nose.
Look at this. No, not in this particular video, but like they both look terrified, just terrified. I know they're not terrified, they're just having trouble like reading the prompter and concentrating, but like it's just, yeah, those are the fire breathers. Okay, sure.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.